tip this over. There's quite a bit of it's a spring-loaded tail skid. All my struts are made out of aspen, which seems to cover up pretty well. You come over here to where the wings are. Quite a bit of work had to be done with pulling. These are all ball bearing pulleys and cables, and I'll show you at the assembly a little better. It gets pretty busy down here. Now to operate these, I have two servos in the wing, lower wing, and carbon fiber rods working up to the upper wing. These are just 200-ounce servos in the fuselage. For the elevator, I had to use a Seco 1200-ounce to get it to come back to center, because these pulleys drastically put a lot of friction on the system. You want to be able to come back to center. This little port is where the castor oil goes into a tank in the inside. Other than that, wish us luck. We'll get you a fly. Well, here's the airplane assembled in my garage. It takes about 2 hours to hook up all the flying wires. Some of this linkage for this is the elevator. Down here, of course, is the rudder. These pulleys go back. Get pretty busy over there. Let me see. So we have two cables going back for the elevator, and the one other cable is for the rudder. And they come across. The rudder goes out to the back low. Elevator cables come up to the pulleys, and they come out high. So there's double pulleys for each. That's created a lot of friction. Of course, like I said, I used a 1200-ounce servo for the elevator. There's my pilots. Of course, the gun bus is famous for having the Lewis machine gun. It was the lightest gun at the time, supposedly 27 pounds. I gotta imagine the drum weighed almost that much, but maybe that was the drum added to the drum. But to exchange the drums, the guy would have, from what I've seen, half a dozen drums, and he could disconnect it, and the drums turn as the shells rotated down a spiral into the magazine. Actually, I think these planes were a bunch of Goonie birds. Even though they were armed, as soon as the Eindeckers come out with a synchronized gun, it just kind of blew them away. So most of the data files you see are airplanes that landed behind the German lines. Of course, again, the whole thing is trying to find out an airplane for this engine, and it seems to be working out very well. It has a lot of power. You don't have a lot of control with the speed, but try to manage it. This engine took 5 years to build. As you can see, the cylinder is rotating. This rotates clockwise. Actually, this engine can be set up to go, I mean counterclockwise. The actually engine can be set up to go clockwise with a tractor prop. They just flip the cams over, and you must have to do something with the magneto, but supposedly the engine can run either way if you had to. All my servos had to have chokes on them. I'm using 2.4 Spectra technology. Still have problems with open wires, so I have to put a choke on all my servos. This is the attachment to the wing, a simple single bolt. These are carbon fiber 5/8 diameter tubes. And the bottom, we have 2 bolts bolting, but they bolt to the rear strut. I'm using metal cable back to the tail surfaces. The horns are made out of aluminum, trying to make the rear light. Like I say, the whole rear end only weighs 6 pounds. The framework, all of this here is aluminum tubing surrounded. Even here in the front, everything has edges have aluminum. The rudder, same thing. Outboard is aluminum, but the rudder had to be built on the plane. There's some upper rigging. Actually, the rigging gives me all the strengths rather than, and makes it light. And it has dual ailerons. Again, you see here, this wingtip is a 3/8 aluminum tubing. And of course, underneath we have the bow, the skid. These are 9-inch wheels from Reed Supply, Reed Hobbies. Everything else had to be pretty much manufactured. Okay, then my gas tank, of course, is in the wing. So I need the pressure, because I don't have a fuel pump on this engine. This engine had a fuel pump attached to the back of the oil pump, but they had a lot of problems with oil and gas mixing. I didn't get that far. I just used the height of the wing. Alright, but this is a British plane flown by British pilots and a gunner, and like I say, the subject was to be able to see the engine without being inside of a cowl. Okay, I guess we're gonna go flying.